All right, lesson 6, bulk petroleum accountability. All right, introduction. The refueling of the arms ship is an ever-increasing requirement. The need for the fuel quantity accountability to ensure the accurate control of the ownership of the receiver, the issue of the inventory. Service contract requirement. The Defense Logistics Agency has overall responsibility for management of all the classes supplied, including petroleum and the DoD civil agency for the federal government over the world. The DESC with the integrated material management with the petroleum product over the DoD civil agency for the federal government worldwide. The following military service agencies submit with the conduct requirement for the contracting issue the DoD Form 448. The United States Air Force, San Antonio Air Logistics Center, Kelly Air Force Base, Texas. The United States Air Petroleum Center, New Cumberland, the Army Depot, New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. The United States Marine Company, Corps Navy are handled through the Navy Petroleum Office and co-located with the Defense Allies, spending with the Fort Belvedere, Virginia. Unified Commands, PO, and the DFR submit with the requirement of the DSC for the monthly slate. Your contract ordering document. The contract ordering authorization for the contract, the source identification and ordering authorization of DFSCH Form 21-1 identifies the supply support source for the contract limitation from the data requirement. The ordering officer obtained with the source identification and ordering authorization control record of the DF Form 1886. The ad is used to report the status of orders, the example amount of the order to be undelivered. The service of the order affiliated with the civilian contract DSC for the stocks using the following documents. DoD Form 1155. The form is used to place order for the bulk fuel for the civil contract source. The DO Form 1348-1 form is used for the ordering received the DSC terminal. Note the DO Form 1348-1 is also used in between military activities. DO Form 250 for the form is used for the shipment for the commercial rail and tanker truck with pipeline. DO Form 251 of the form is used for the shipments of the waterborne delivered to the ocean and coastal tanker barge. Or DO Form 1149 of the form is used for the shipment of the military facility. Note the DoD Form 1348-1 is also used between military activities. The petroleum activity. The Air Force FMO is responsible for the base of the fuel inventory accountability. All aircraft issued for the sale of either cash or credit with the authorized U.S. government, state, local aircraft sale, contract, charter, foreign material may purchase the fuel with the Air Force source. The credit purchase also the receiver, the customer being authorized to credit with the possesses U.S. government aircraft indena plate for the charter of the authorized customers are the Department of Defense aircraft that issue the fuel indena plate or either with the DO Form 1896, the DO Form 1897, and the Air Force Form 1245. Non-Department of Defense contract charter civilian foreign government aircraft identified in public CMA or CMLA, pronounced CAMEL. The Air Force document with the base credit issue for the ground forms fuels issue for the indent plate. The indent plate is issued for being transported vehicle for the FMO non-vehicle, for example, the lawnmower weed eater. Air Force manual. Air Force Form 1252 and 1252A for vehicles, 12A for Air Force Form 1295 and 1295A for non-vehicles. Note that 1252 and 1295A are issued for the automated service station. Note the identity plate remains the equipment at all times. Government, ground and aviation product issue documentation. Air Force Form 1994 is the form of credit for the issue of the fuel with the DoD form aircraft with equipment off of the ship with the recorded automated issue with the ground fuel with the oil with the DoD base support with the non-DoD customers. Air Force 1995 the form both credit issue with the D fuel with the records for cash flow, cash sales in conjunction with the cash collection voucher for the non-DoD aircraft, the equipment, the ground product transaction ship with the document, unautomated non-base support at issue for the non-DoD customers. DoD Form 1131, the form of documents, cash flow of the sale of the aviation product, the money collected go for the base for the accounting of the financing office with a copy of the DO Form 1131, the FMO form, keep the original, take out the validated copy of the accounting finances of the FMO files. Daily management and daily inventory. The accounting was to reconcile the base inventory with the gentleman that every morning at the 800 hour they involved with the use of main with the different forms. Air Force Form 791. Fuels issued for the tanker aircraft recorded with the Air Force Form 1994. Normally each of the issued another aircraft with the in-flight with the record with the tanker the boom operated with the Air Force 791. Air Force 791. After completion of the refueling missions, go to the home station of the FMO. The FMO profit the issues to the other aircraft required refueled in flight bill for the other parent organization fuel received the tanker organization the credit for the issue. The Air Force Air Force Form 824 for the form is prepared with the daily FSCC controller. Form reflects all the fuel supervising servicing operation event with a 24-hour period and closeout day with 800 hours each day. Form is used to cross check the information of the issued documents. Air Force Forms 1994 and 1995. Computer paper tape. Automated service station transaction record. The record is processed daily with the accounting section of the fields removed with the mainly support computer. Air Force Program Form 1231, you the document, receive with a single grade with the product with a 24-hour period with the accounts vary, all receive with the supporting shipping tab with a record total with the later use on the Air Force 1237. Air Force 1232, the form and ship is an envelope with the hold for the either both of the individual Air Force Form 1994 and 1995 with the ship of the summary sheet, consolidated total, issue of the fuel with the accumulate occurring during specified period with when you and refilling units they cover the period and cycle of the time of the filling until the unit is refilled or indicate for the defuels until the fuel goes back into the bulk storage. When you the hose car is consolidated, issue for the defuel for the single 24-hour period with the 800 hours to 800 hours. The account reviews the completeness, accuracy of the supporting document of the Air Force Manager Forms 1994 and 1995. The audit is consolidated Air Force Form 1232. Summarize the total issue of the defuel figures for later Air Force 1237. 12 Air Force Form 1233. The form is prepared daily bulk storage section for each of the grade of the product handled to show that all the issue truck fails shipment for the transfers defuels for return for the bulk storage during 24-hour period. The action review of the accuracy completeness of the record the information for the Air Force Form 1237. Air Force Form 1234, where the form is prepared with the starting of the computer month for each of the grade of the product dispensed for the unit that accounts over the insert for the refueling unit inventory daily on this form. The information is later used in Air Force Form 1235. Air Force Form 1234 lists all the refueling units over the inventory of the in-service and out-service status. Air Force Form 1235, the bulk storage attempts gauge all the tanks daily at 800 hours. The weekly inventory procedure for the 800 hours on Friday. The accounts consolidated with the total quantity of the grade and then make the additional entry for the example. The Air Force 1234 pipeline inventory, the quantity represents the actual physical inventory each grade of the product is stored, which will end up as also Air Force 1237. Alright, Air Force 1237, the form is prepared with the beginning with the computer mode with each grade of the product demanded for the data delay and come from the Air Force 1231, received with the Air Force 1232 and the 1233 issues physical inventory Air Force 1235 and the form 1237 that reflects all the fuel transaction previously in 24-hour period. The form is filled out with the give of the book and inventory with each for the grade of the product with every day of the month. 6. Inventory balance. The Air Force of the balance account paid with the special attention probably the gain and loss of the gains and loss of the following two categories: in transit and determinable. In transit gains the loss of the variance volume with the due with the temperature change with the experience with the doing with the movement of the product with the origin to the destination. The gains the loss of the volume with the quantity with the comparing quantities received with the quantity with the ship with the adjusted with the received the 60 degrees Fahrenheit variance more than 1/2% is acceptable required that the investigative explanation of the counting section of the process of the acceptable variance through the computer adjusting the record balance according to the amount of the gain and loss. Terminable loss as a result of the specific cause of the pilferage or spill, the line breaks or fires when the reach for the corrective action is taken with the recurrence of the terminable loss of the counting section of the drop loss from the item record with a special inventory adjustment and proceed with the records that are adjusted. Army accounting system. The Army fuel accounting is managed under two levels. They are direct general support. The accounting with an issue, the direct general support unit, the installation level of the stock record, the accounting for the receipt issue of the SSA. Customers unit level of the requirements documentation audited. Trim of the SSA is level of documents issued for the order issue of the inventory adjusting of the account with the forms are the S stock record accounting the DA form 272. The form is listed the request of the fuels and their status listed the form DA form 3644 and 4702R. Army stating Army's stock record, Army SSA accounting DA form 1296 for each of the grade with the will of the separate code, the DA form 2665-1, DOD form 1348-1, use the order received with the product. All gross gallons are equal to the exceed of 3,500 gallons must be volume corrected at 60 degrees Fahrenheit to permit the net of the quantity to be determined at each delivery. DA form 3643 to identify the equivalent of the fuel type of the quantity of the receiving unit. The signature of the form is normally the one product with the cover of the one day, but the form is supporting the document daily quantity list for the DA form 3644. The DA form 3644, the quantity with the total each of the product with the subtract with the DA form 3643 with the DA form 3644. DA form 3853-1, you to record the gauge quantity with the storage container. You to support the quantity with the unhammed inventory opening and closing reduce the marks of the column. The DA form 4702R, used to record the inventory quantities, opening receipt issue balance, the gain losses, adjusting minutes of the DA form 1296. Army customer unit using unit account. The unit commander designated for the rating responsible for the individual maintaining control and bulk view of the provided auditing trail for the UVD's form DA form 2064 for the posting controlling documents DA form 2765-1, DOD form 1348-1, or UVD order received with the product DA form 3643 and the DA form 3644. Bulk controlling will be assigned with the document. Done with the document registered with the receipt of the document will be posted in column A with the quantity with the record with the receipt of the column DA form 3643 with the retail issue of the fuel receipts recorded with the respect of the column DA form 3643 53. Issue receipts will be totaled posted daily in the DA Form 3644, Daily Form DA Form 3853-1. The daily tanks that have either issue for the receipt of the inventory data will be recorded DA Form 3853-1. Locally authorized form note volume correction for the daily inventories will be accomplished measure volume with the not exceeding that exceed 3,500 gallons. Weekly tanks that do not issue the receipt of the will be inventoried for the last week, 1 week, with the physical inventory data will be reconciled comparing with the previous inventory data variances. Monthly, a physical inventory with the Army-owned bulk petroleum will be performed each for the type of the grade of the product with the inventory reflect with the quantity on hand at 800 hours last day of each month. The Form 3853-1 local form used to be in the record order inventory data. The inventory will include the totals for each type of the grade product with the account will include the both above the ground tank, the trucks, any other fueling containing items. DA Form 4702 by the end of the month inventory will be summarized as DA Form 4702R. Authorized loss and gains and allowance. Some of the loss and gains are expected for the handling storage of volatile products. Will allow the loss and gains of the percentage of the prescribed regulation sufficient to accommodate the expected normal erotic loss and gains. Handling loss or gains of fuel of the AV gas out of the all gasoline other products are allowable up to an extent of the actual loss of the gains. Loss and gains of jet fuels, AV gas, gasoline are not expected to see the plus minus of the 1% of the total opening inventory plus of the requirements of the monthly period cover the military monthly bulk accounting summary. Loss for the gains from all other petroleum products that not exceed the 1 plus or minus half or 1% of the total opening inventory plus for the monthly bulk petroleum accounting summary. Total loss of the specific bulk petroleum product must not be less than loss for the allowance of the product. Only actual loss is allowable. Actual loss exceeding the stated allowance for the entire loss of the monetary value of $500 reported survey required. Actual loss exceeding allowable to having the total monetary value of the $500 of the casualty reserve the issue attached to the monthly bulk petroleum accounting summary reporting document. Total gain of the specific bulk petroleum product is maybe left to the authorized gain of the allowance of the product. Only the actual gains posted in the accounted records. Gains above the allowable limits being investigated determine the cover. The copy of the investigation will be attached to the supporting document with the monthly bulk petroleum accounting summaries. Adjustment of the automatic accountable records. Spillage contamination, level of the documentation, reasonable individual quantity of the over 25 gallon of the documentation, check for the monthly bulk petroleum accounting summary, the awarding document, adjusting the record for the bulk petroleum accounting summary, either reflect the on-hand inventory complete with the 3 working day with the 4 with the approved with the authority, the disapprove of the bulk petroleum accounting summary. For the approving and disapproving the law for the initiating report of the survey is required. Approving the authority to disapprove of the game of the AR-15 sick for the investigation is required. The bulk petroleum monthly bulk petroleum accounting some of the reports of the document receipts issued for the inventory report of survey the AR-15 sick for the pertain with the activity filed over the 1 year, the inactivity over the 2 year. The documents will be filed with the AR-25-402. The Marine Corps accounting. Daily staff of the report, daily fuel issue for the report, monthly bulk fuel accounting summaries are used to maintain accountable the bulk fuel received and issue for the stock on hand. Daily staff of the report is used to determine the allocation and adjustment of maintainment of the report. The report is prepared with the bulk fuel supply POI submitted with the headquarters. Daily status report may be the informal, only identify the receipt of the total product with ground fuel is identified with the green dollar, air, and blue dollar of total quantity of the date blue. The daily fuels issue report for the use identify the issue of the receipt, the equivalent amount of the delivery picked up the report can be an official logbook and a single report. The monthly bulk fuel accounting some of the identified with the inventory totally opening receipts issue the gains and loss adjustments. 10 Navy account of the Navy DBOF owned the petroleum retail stock. The retail stocks include the fleet owner of the inventory, aviation, ground, and heating fuel. The documents of the DOE Form 1155, 250, 251, 1348, 1348, 1. Example of the forms issued with the fuel counting Navy Subform 7066. List for receipts and issue the adjustment of the counting and the monthly physical inventory. Some of the receipts issue actions. Navy Air reports direct refilling stations log, aircraft refilling dispatch log. These reports identify issued quantities. The fuel afloat, the DOD Form 1149 is used for the ship supply. The Department of request and receipt of the supplies. 11.7 Lesson 7 Petroleum Operating Reports.